My vibrant, truth-seeking, and eternally optimistic Sagittarius souls, gather close to the glow of this cosmic fire. Are you ready for a truth that might just make the hair on your arms stand up? Because what if that restless, seeking energy you've been carrying in your spirit lately isn't just wanderlust or a philosophical itch? What if it's a high-frequency signal from the very heart of the universe, pointing you towards your next grand adventure? I want you to really think about those sudden surges of inspiration that ripple through you. Those sleepless nights where your mind races with possibilities, and that unshakable feeling that a profound revelation is just around the corner, waiting to expand your world. These are not coincidences, Sagittarius. They are cosmic flares. They are signs pointing to two specific individuals who are navigating the currents of destiny to find their way into your life at this very moment. Listen to me closely, because this is urgent. One of these people carries the power to completely redefine your journey and expand your horizons, while the other is arriving to expose a truth you were never meant to uncover alone. If you turn away now, if you let this moment slide into the static of your busy quest, you might miss the very reason destiny chose this specific week to knock on your door. Take a deep, grounding breath. Feel the vastness beneath you. Let's step into part one of this journey, where the first presence begins to manifest in your energetic field. Welcome back to Cosmic Treasure, your sanctuary for the mysteries of the stars. I'm your guide, and today we are diving into a portal of transformation specifically for Sagittarius. Before we uncover these two mystery souls, do me a favor. If you believe in the power of the universe, smash that like button and subscribe. Let's build our tribe of awakened souls together. Now, Sagittarius, have you felt it? That quiet, persistent stirring inside your spirit? It's subtle, like the gentle tapping of fate against the edges of your subconscious mind. This sensation isn't random. It's the earliest whisper of a spiritual knock. For an adventurous, philosophical soul like yours, you feel these shifts long before the physical world catches up. What you've sensed lately is an instability. It is the feeling of the universe rearranging its atoms for your highest good, preparing the ground for your next big leap. You have been absorbing the tremors of a destiny in motion. Your spirit has responded exactly as it was designed to, with heightened foresight, restless nights, and an unspoken knowing that someone is nearing the threshold of your life. Your sleep has become lighter because a part of you stays awake, like an explorer listening for the winds of change. There is an insistent energy in your core, but it's not pain. It's a burning desire, a message waiting to be opened. These aren't symptoms of a wandering mind. They are the symptoms of a spiritual awakening, preparing you for expansive new truths. You are feeling the energetic pressure of two souls being guided toward you by the very breath of the divine. Sagittarians live with the doors of the inner world swung wide open, always seeking and learning. You don't just witness life, you feel its potential, its hidden lessons, and its future directions. When something approaches you, your spirit catches the scent on the wind weeks in advance. That's why you felt a sudden urge to learn, to travel, or a profound philosophical question stirring without direct cause. Your soul has already heard the footsteps of what is coming. Now, I want you to engage with this energy right now. If your heart is beating a little faster, if you feel that yes vibrating in your bones, I want you to stop and type something in the comments. Let the universe hear your voice. Type, "Hello. I am ready for unstoppable truth and abundance." Let's signal to the cosmos that the gates are open and you are ready to receive this spiritual activation. It doesn't always roar. Sometimes it hums, it pulses, it moves like water under a frozen lake. reshaping your mental and emotional landscape in total silence. As a mutable fire sign, your spirit is a lightning rod for these shifts. Sudden philosophical clarity, unexpected urges to explore, the feeling that time is stretching or slowing down. These are your indicators that the wheels of fate are turning. Often, what you dismiss as just a thought or random curiosity is actually you receiving classified information from the universe before anyone else. You are detecting the arrival of individuals whose frequencies will impact you the moment they step into the room. One carries truth, one carries restoration, and both carry a karmic weight that only appears when a cycle is ready to close forever. You are sensing the arrival of divine timing. Destiny doesn't always announce itself with a trumpet. It announces itself with resonance. It arrives first as a feeling. And you, Sagittarius, being naturally attuned to the expansive currents beneath every human interaction, are one of the few who can perceive the shape of destiny before it even materializes. These inner shifts aren't your imagination. They are invitations. If silence has felt heavier or more sacred lately, it's because the divine is preparing your inner landscape. When a massive blessing is on the horizon, the spirit organizes itself to receive it. Old thoughts and limiting beliefs rise up to be cleared, and scattered ideas reorganize into a new, more powerful pattern. This activation is also a shield. My friend, the spiritual realm knows how much you yearn for authenticity and how easily you can absorb the world's illusions. So, before these two destined souls enter your orbit, your inner world is being refined. You are being prepared to meet them with clarity, not confusion, with the strength of a wise guide, not the fear of the unknown. The universe never sends a masterpiece to an unprepared canvas. It nudges your consciousness awake. You might have thought something was wrong with you, blaming stress, fatigue, or just plain boredom. But this isn't a return to the past. This is the clearing of your path, preparing you for a journey unbound. You are being moved into a position of power. Growth feels like stretching, and stretching can be uncomfortable, but it is necessary to hold the magnitude of what's coming next. Your optimism and quest for truth are your greatest assets. Sagittarius. They are your compass. They allow you to see the invisible architecture of your own life's grand design. You notice the change in the philosophical weather long before the clouds form. This is why your spirit has been on high alert. Something precise and intentional is approaching. You can feel the pressure of its arrival in the way your breath hits you at night. What you've called restlessness is actually recognition. Your soul recognizes these two energies. One carries the truth you've needed for a decade, the truth that will finally allow you to break free from the invisible shackles you've unknowingly worn for far too long. The other carries an opportunity, a doorway that has been locked, bolted, and barred until this very moment. Both are coming because you are finally ready. And while readiness doesn't always feel comfortable, it is always sacred. You are standing on the edge of a new chapter, and before the first word is written, the universe knocks. It's knocking in your dreams, in your intuition, and in that quiet voice telling you that something significant is unfolding. Trust it. Soften into this knowing. You don't need to force the logic right now. You only need to listen. Your soul is speaking through your feelings. And right now, it's saying, pay attention. So breathe with me. Sagittarius, let the air move through you like a message. Let your spirit rise like the tide. In this stillness, you will realize that what you're feeling isn't a disturbance. It's preparation. It's grace moving ahead of you, clearing the debris. Now, with your heart open and your spirit awake. Let's move into part 2, because the first of these two presences has already crossed into your energetic field. and the story is beginning to unfold. Sagittarius. I want you to imagine for a moment an opportunity you once lost, perhaps a grand journey that fell through, a teaching position that went to someone else, or a philosophical project that withered on the vine. It slipped through your fingers so quietly it left a void in your adventurous spirit before you even realized it was gone. Now, imagine that opportunity is currently making a U-turn. But here is the cosmic twist. It's returning in a form you could never have predicted. It is arriving through a woman. And this isn't a woman who brings chaos or hidden agendas. She carries no emotional storms. She comes softly, guided by a hand much larger than her own. Her presence doesn't disrupt your life. It restores its sense of boundless possibility. This woman holds the key that the universe withheld from you years ago. Why was it withheld? Not because you weren't good enough. Sagittarius. Never believe that lie. It was withheld because the timing was fragile, and the people around you at that time were perhaps too limiting or even predatory. They had intentions that would have stifled the blessing meant to elevate you. When that door slammed shut, it wasn't a punishment. It was a divine act of protection. It was a pause button pressed by the universe to keep you safe until you were wise enough to hold the weight of your own glory. But spiritual timing is patient, and when the alignment is perfect, the universe reopens what was closed. This woman is your signal. Her arrival is the green light from the cosmos. She represents the return of something karmic, something taken from you by envy, by misalignment, or by people who wanted to see you stay small and constrained. But in the economy of the universe, nothing meant for you can ever truly be lost. It simply gets rerouted. The universe is sending this blessing back to its rightful owner, you, through a human vessel who has the purity and steadiness to deliver it safely. She is that vessel. Through her, the stagnation ends. And here's the beautiful part, you won't have to guess who she is. The moment she enters your sphere, your Sagittarius intuition, that famous truth-seeking compass, will be completely silent. Instead, you will feel a profound sense of calm, a quiet familiarity. It will feel like an invisible weight has been lifted from your spirit, and your path forward suddenly seems clear and expansive. There will be no alarm bells, no need to guard your heart, no sensation of being off balance. There is a softness around her that feels like home, a safe harbor for your adventurous soul. Your spirit will recognize her as a bridge between the past that stifled you and the future that is finally ready to bloom. She might not even know the role she's playing. She might just be an introduction, a conversation, or a message that arrives at 2 a.m. when you are praying for a sign. She doesn't have to stay forever. Some souls are just keys. Once the door is unlocked, their mission is complete. What matters is that she brings closure where there was confusion. She brings restoration where there was a void. When she arrives, it will feel like a window opening in a room that has been dusty and dark for years. It will feel like fresh air hitting your lungs for the first time, signaling freedom. Now, Sagittarius, while you settle into the energy of this restoring woman, we have to look deeper, because there is a second person, a man. And if the woman is the key, this man is the truth. He is approaching with words that only your soul is prepared to hear. This is someone who carries a particular kind of truth, the kind that doesn't arrive when you want it, but when you are finally powerful enough to handle it. Whether his face is one you know well, or one that has faded into the mist of memory, he is moving toward you with a message your soul once begged for years ago. You prayed for this clarity. You yearned for this explanation, but it didn't come back then. The silence was deafening, and it left you with disillusionment and self-doubt. But listen to my personal opinion on this. Sagittarius, the universe will never allow a truth to reach you if it has the power to destroy your spirit. Divine timing is deliberate. It waits until a revelation can be a doorway to greater wisdom instead of a fresh wound. This man is coming now because you have finally learned to hold your own worth and discern true wisdom. He isn't coming to ignite a romance or to drag you back into old philosophical debates. He is coming as a mirror. His presence is going to reflect how much you have grown when he speaks, whether it's an apology, a confession, or just a piece of information that finally explains why. His words won't cause a storm. They will cause a release. You will realize that you are no longer the person who was shattered by his actions. You are now someone who can hear the truth and remain completely whole, a master of your own perspective. This is the real meaning of spiritual maturity for a truth seeker like you. He is coming to dissolve the lingering questions that have been circling your mind like restless thoughts. He is coming so you can finally stop revisiting those old memories. In his presence, you'll feel an internal click, the final piece of the puzzle falling into place, giving you the grand overview you've always sought. You'll notice that you listen to him differently, not from a place of desperation or needing him to validate you, but from a place of cold, hard awareness. You have become the master of your own narrative. His truth isn't meant to change your relationship with him. It's meant to change the relationship you have with your past. It's the final lock on an old emotional door being unlatched. Once it opens, you are free to walk forward without ever looking back, ready for your next grand quest. You might even feel an unexpected surge of gratitude, not necessarily for him, but for the lesson, for the silence that forced you to find your own voice, for the pain that turned you into the powerhouse of wisdom you are today. That gratitude is the signal that the karmic cycle is 100% complete. He brings the missing piece of the story, but you bring the transformation that makes that story meaningful. And as that truth settles into your bones, a shift happens. You move into a new timeline. A timeline where the past no longer echoes and the future is no longer a scary maybe, but a vast, open road. Your spirit is stepping forward without the weight. Sagittarius. This man doesn't change your destiny. He just clears the road so you can run toward it. His role is to unbind you, and once you are unbound, the life you've been yearning for begins to unfold with a clarity that will take your breath away. But wait, we aren't done. Now that the truth bearer is in focus, we have to talk about the forces that tried to stop you. We have to talk about part 4, the lifting of the interference. Sagittarius. Let's get real for a second. Have you ever asked yourself, why does everything feel so stuck when I'm working so hard to move forward? Why do opportunities slip away at the last second when I've been so optimistic? Why do I feel drained even when I've done nothing but stay in bed? In my professional opinion, these were never signs of your failure. They were signs of spiritual interference. Because you are such an expansive, truth-seeking sign, you attract a lot of psychic dust. You absorb the envy, the projections, and the secret resentment of people who aren't as brave or as free-spirited as you are. You've been carrying the weight of energies that were never yours to carry. People see your light, Sagittarius, and instead of lighting their own torch, they try to blow yours out. They want you to stay small and contained because your growth and freedom make them feel inadequate. This residue builds up on your aura, dulling your natural shine and creating blockages in your adventurous path. But I have news for you. You were never the problem. You were just the one absorbing the problem. Think about the people you felt off around, the ones who smile to your face but leave you feeling exhausted after a 5-minute conversation. You felt the tension in your shoulders, the random waves of restlessness, the fog in your brain. That was your intuition screaming at you that there was spiritual interference. You were swimming through clouded water, and because you are a loyal and compassionate soul, you tried to fix it or understand it. But you can't fix someone else's envy. You can only release it. And that release is exactly what the universe is doing for you right now. When your life feels paused, it's often because the divine is deep cleaning your environment before the big blessings arrive. Some doors stayed shut because the energy around you was too toxic to let a miracle grow. You've been being protected in ways you couldn't see. The universe has been shedding the jealous glances, the silent competition, and the people who admired you publicly but resented you privately. Their exit from your life wasn't abandonment, it was a divine eviction. As your vibration rises, anything that doesn't match that new frequency has no choice but to fall away. People who drain you will fade. People who misunderstand your boundless spirit will fall silent. You don't even have to cut the cords yourself. The universe is doing it for you. This is why the last few months have felt like a battle. You weren't fighting people. You were shedding their residue. Every tear was a cleansing. Every moment of fatigue was your soul doing the heavy lifting of energetic shedding. And now, the fog is thinning. The burden is loosening. You are stepping into a phase where your energy finally belongs to you again. The stagnation was just the final resistance before the breakthrough. The silence you hear now isn't emptiness. It's the sound of the universe rearranging your furniture so that nothing envious can follow you into your next chapter. You've been fighting a battle you didn't even know you were winning. And now, the road is clear. So what happens now? We move into part 5, the divine reset. This is where we talk about the real miracle. Because the greatest blessing isn't the return of the lost opportunity or the arrival of the truth. The greatest miracle is the birth of the new you, the Sagittarius who finally matches the expansive depth of their own soul. Have you noticed it? That feeling that you are no longer who you used to be, but you aren't quite there yet. That's the threshold. And it's the most powerful place to be. Imagine a version of yourself that moves through life with total calm instead of restlessness, purpose instead of hesitation. This is the transformation your spiritual ancestors have been guiding you toward for generations. They've watched you carry burdens that would have crushed a lesser soul. They've seen your endurance, your refusal to let the world turn your spirit bitter. And they are standing behind you now with such immense pride. You are the one in your bloodline who is breaking the cycles. You are rising where they were held down. This is why your environment is shifting. You are outgrowing the rooms you used to live in. You are shedding old emotional imprints. There is a new home waiting for you, a new career, a new city, a new state of mind where your soul feels free instead of confined. And with that shift comes the financial breakthrough. Sagittarius. Your money has been tangled in spiritual knots for too long, drained by people who took more than they gave. But that blockage is shattering. Abundance is returning, not as a trickle, but as a flood, supporting your grandest visions. Money is energy. And as you align your spirit, the physical world has no choice but to bend to support you. Financial ease becomes a natural byproduct of your inner peace and clear direction. You're stepping into emotional liberation. You're no longer tethered to past versions of yourself who tolerated disrespect or limited your horizons. You're breathing without fear. You're choosing without guilt. You're finally moving forward without waiting for anyone's permission. This is divine justice, not the justice of revenge, but the justice of being restored. It's the universe saying, here is everything that was taken, multiplied by 10 for your next great adventure. You are seeing your own worth with such clarity that no one will ever be able to distort it again. You are entering your chosen soul cycle. This is reserved for the elite souls who have endured the fire. You are closing ancestral wounds. You are rewriting your family's future. The universe isn't just returning you to who you were before the pain. It's revealing who you were always meant to be, a beacon of truth and expansion. The two people approaching you, the woman with the key and the man with the truth, they are just the catalysts. They are the signposts. Their presence is there to confirm that you are on the right track. But the real shift is happening inside you. They are the doorway, but you are the traveler. Through them, you will understand why every delay was necessary. But the real destination is your own peace, your own abundance, and your own undeniable purpose. You will find yourself making choices that used to terrify you. You will attract high-vibe people who match your spirit instead of draining it. You will feel guided instead of lost. You will trust instead of fear. This is your divine reset. Everything, your relationships, your bank account, your health, is being rewritten in real time. There is one final truth you need to hold on to. Your destiny has never been lost. It was never delayed. It was just waiting for you to become the person who could handle it. And now, you are that person. Sagittarius. Cosmic treasure lessons, learned for the truth-seeking. Sagittarius. As you navigate this powerful period of transformation, dear Sagittarius, take these lessons to heart, for they will serve as your compass on the journey ahead. 1. Discernment is your true north. Your boundless optimism is a gift, but sometimes it can blur the lines. This period teaches you to discern genuine opportunities and authentic connections from those that seek to limit or drain your spirit. Not all shiny objects lead to treasure. Some are merely distractions. Trust your gut feeling, not just for adventure, but for authenticity. 2. Freedom requires foundations. You crave freedom above all else, but true freedom isn't just about movement. It's about liberation from internal and external constraints. The release you're experiencing is building a solid foundation, allowing you to soar higher without fear of collapse. Understand that setting healthy boundaries and acknowledging difficult truths are acts of self-liberation, not restriction. 3. Restlessness as a messenger. What you've often dismissed as mere restlessness is, in fact, your soul's urgent call to action or a signal that something profound is shifting. Instead of always seeking external stimulation, learn to sit with this energy, deciphering its message. Is it a call to learn, to teach, to travel, or to simply look inward for the next big truth? 4. The wisdom of patience. For the archer who aims far, waiting can feel like stagnation. Yet, divine timing demonstrates that some blessings require a period of cultivation and preparation, both within you and in your environment. Embrace the pause as a period of gathering strength, wisdom, and resources, knowing that your grand vision is being meticulously prepared. 5. Your truth-speaking power. You are naturally inclined to speak your truth, but this activation refines how and when you wield this power. You're learning that truth delivered with wisdom and self-awareness can be a healing balm, rather than a disruptive force. Your voice, when aligned with your highest self, can clear paths not just for yourself, but for others. 6. Abundance fuels adventure. The financial breakthrough isn't just about material gain. It's about providing the resources necessary for your expansive spirit to thrive. Recognize money as a tool that supports your purpose, enables your travels, and funds your quest for knowledge. Treat it with respect, not as an afterthought, so it can serve your highest good. If this message has set your soul on fire, if it has given you the hope you needed to keep going, let your energy ripple back like this video. Share it with another Sagittarius who needs to hear this. And if you haven't already, join us here at Cosmic Treasure. We are a family of seekers, and your seat at the table is waiting. Thank you for your spirit, for your openness, and for your incredible strength. May you walk into this week with the fire of a relentless explorer and the peace of profound wisdom. May the universe bless you in ways that leave no doubt that you were never, ever alone. Keep your eyes on the horizon, Sagittarius. The key is turning in the lock. The truth is on its way. And you are finally ready to fly. We'll see you in the next Cosmic Update. Until then, stay powerful, stay inspired, and stay unbound.